Okay,
Now
we're
live. Everybody run. Ah.
Get out. Like, seriously, get out. Like, right now.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the Tomb of the Terrible. I am your humble servant, UncleNecRo, and joining me tonight are our regular cast of weirdos, Del, Friday, Chaos, Tom Dog, and Ron. How's everybody doing?
Good. Doing well. Yeah.
All right. What's Radisker drinking there?
Ratosker has some black velvet tonight. He's going with the whiskeys.
Black velvet and that cold southern style.
And that little boy's smile. Yep.
Yes. Well, we're in the middle of the we're nearing the end of the spooky season, the haunting season. It's almost the most high holy day in my world anyway, Halloween. And the one thing that really irks me, that really grabs me by my bald head and just infuriates me, is seeing all the Christmas stuff going up far before Halloween is even over. I mean, at Walmart, I've mentioned this before. I've already seen the Little Debbie snack cakes that are in the shape of the Christmas trees being sold already. I wish Santa Claus and all you Christmas freaks would keep your nads out of my holiday. Let me have my fun. And with that thought in mind, so of course, the Wheel of the Terrible would have chosen a Christmas movie for us to enjoy. Tonight we are discussing the movie, the 2023 movie, 2023, one of those two, 2023 movie, Amityville Christmas Vacation. Well, written and directed by and starring one Steve Rudzinski, Amityville Christmas Vacation finds celebrated hero cop Wally Griswold catching the attention of a B&B owner who lures him under the false pretense of a holiday vacation in sunny Amityville. Only the house is haunted by a vengeful ghost. But instead of murdering him like the other guests, Wally and the ghost ends up falling in love, which pisses off the B&B owner. Hallmark and Lifetime Christmas movie wackiness doth ensue. So, first question of the night, people. Was this your first time watching this movie?
Yep.
That's a yes all across the board. I wish Sam was here because I really kind of wanted to see his take. But we'll get to that a little bit later. We'll go with the what was the first impression of yours of this movie, Del?
Okay, first impression. I was expecting something worse, and I really felt that the guy who played Wally was he reminded me in his acting as like the character seemed like a cross between Sheldon from The Big Bang and Michael from The Office. That was
Okay.
like the combination that I got as far as how he acted and stuff. He had those things. I'm just gonna remove this real quick from Joshua's face
You
because
read my
it was just
mind.
like sorry, that was bothering me. But yeah, but it was, I mean, he was funny acting. He was decent. It just that's what it came across as. And I mean, it obviously this was supposed to be campy. So it was okay that it came across that way. And yeah, that was my big first impression. I don't want to go over too much because we'll get into the good and bad later.
Right. Friday, what was your first impression?
This is a goofy movie, and it's only going to get goofier. And it did, and it turned into a very interesting love tale. I might have to use one of the plot points that we had saw in a story later.
Okay. Chaos?
I think I know what it
First
is.
impression? Okay.
I was expecting this to be a lot worse. Especially because the pain it was giving what's left of my soul for being a Christmas movie.
Yeah. That seems to be the general consensus here so far. Tom, what was your first impression of this movie?
My first impression was how many references I can get from good holiday movies, and I almost decided to play a drinking game, but I didn't because then I wouldn't be on here tonight.
No.
So, but it was interesting. One of the shortest that I've seen from these bad Amityville takes on it. And yeah, it was a movie. It was a movie that happened, and so I'm not gonna try to rib on it too much, but yeah, I was okay. I started winding up looking like Del's crow that looks at you in a weird way, you know. So on some parts, and we'll get to that. Yep, there it goes. So yeah,
We got a bird on my screen. Oh no. Ron, well, what was your first impression of this?
My first impression of this was that I expected it to be longer than it actually was. It clocks in at right about 45 minutes, so it's not even a full-length movie. And I think they probably could have actually extended it out a bit without too much detriment to the enjoyment of the movie itself. And what Del was saying about the lead character, Wally Griswold, reminding her of, who was it, Sheldon and who else?
Michael from The Office.
Michael from The Office. To me, he kind of reminded me of Chris Kattan playing like Corky Romano and some of those characters that Chris Kattan played early in his career. He gave me that kind of vibe. You know, not necessarily stupid, but not entirely smart either. You know, sort of a late genius, I suppose, coming late to the party. But overall, yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent watch.
And I am curious, what is that shirt you're wearing?
This would be Weird Al Yankovic. It's all about the Pentiums, baby.
Nice. Look at that. That is a classic.
Yes. It says Weird Al inside on the back. That it looks like the Intel inside.
You need to. No.
Crunch down.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
That's nice.
Nice.
See the first time you tried that, it was like you're miking your butt up, getting ready to fart or something.
Well, give you my real opinion of this movie. Talking out my ass.
You should have did that during Karen.
Right. Okay, my first impression of this is this thing was like if the Hallmark Channel decided to make a hybrid Christmas horror movie while also kind of banking in on the Amityville name recognition. And also, I'm pretty sure the cat and pet rats got their roles in the movie through nepotism. So, a little bit of trivia here. The Amityville Christmas Vacation won Fangoria's Best Amityville Chainsaw Award in 2023. And going over all the other Amityville movies that were released that year, yeah, definitely deserved it. And also, apparently, there's an entire series of movies done by Rudzinski and co-writer Bill Murphy based on the character Wally and his cat. So this is just a continuation. I'm wondering if they're all on Tubi. Now I'm just more curious. Yeah. So, okay, scrolling. Keep the show going. Let's see. What did we like about the movie? Del.
I liked how it didn't take itself seriously at all. So it was like, it was definitely, supposed to just be cheesy, and it wasn't really bad film quality like a lot of them that we get. It was pretty decent. The track stayed on. We weren't like, what the fuck are they saying? We've seen a lot of real fails when it comes to just trying to make a movie in general, and this one actually was a movie. It was short, but it was a movie. I enjoyed all of the reactions that he had to her trying to scare him, like, oh, I'm so sorry, I did these, and I'm like, I don't want to spoil it for people. It's a 45-minute Amityville to spit off, but there were some just cute scenes, and like when they go out on their date and he can't see, nobody can see her, and he's just like walking around with his arm around something and like to the swing. And I loved the packing part when he starts packing his bags. It started off reminding me a bit, especially when he pulled out the nunchucks, of in another movie that we have seen on here, Death Machine, when they are stripping all of the weapons off of Dante, Brad Dourif's character, he's like packing them in, and it was fun to watch. Oh, he's putting in all these clothes, and oh, here's a Christmas shirt, here's a Christmas shirt, here's a Christmas shirt, here's how the fuck did he get the penguin in there? Like, it wasn't working, and then he just suddenly drops an elbow into this bag that he's been putting all these things into over and over, and it was kind of funny. It amused me that he was so gung-ho about making sure he brought everything with him. I liked the cats. Thought they were fun. The rats were okay, but the cat, star quality there. Darren, just catting, just being a cat. He was really good at his role.
Well, it wasn't his first role, so he was a professional.
Yeah, he is a professional. I'm sitting on a chair and looking at you, Cat. And he did good. And yeah, I mean, other than the Christmassy side of everything, I got a kick out of it mostly because this is something that I was teasing my Aunt Joni with, because she is like the queen of Hallmark movies and watches all of them. And I'm like, oh, look, a movie we can watch together. It's a Hallmark horror movie, basically, based around Christmas. And she's like, no, I don't want to see it. I'm like, but you haven't given it a chance. Like, you got to do that. So, yeah. His acting, she was all right. She did some cool things like body-wise and stretch functionings that I couldn't do. So, yay her on that. But But those are my positives. But how
Okay.
the fuck did he pack the penguin? Still want to know.
Life
Movie magic.
finds a way. So, Friday, what did you like about this movie?
My most favorite thing was the ghost hotline. That one made me chuckle. I love that. I love the whole idea of a Christmas ghost love story and helping the ghost get past her trauma. That was like one of my most favorite ideas ever. I like the goofiness of it and them trying to make it not be serious at all.
Mhm.
That and the packing.
Okay. Chaos, what were your favorite things?
I gotta say, one of my most favorite things in this movie has to be when he first gets in the house and is talking to the landlady. He's telling her about himself, talking about, yes, I protect and serve people and abuse my power like any good policeman should.
Yeah,
It's like,
this is self-aware.
yeah. At least he's honest about it.
So, Tom Dog, what did you like about the movie?
Okay. It besides being that it was short so I can do other stuff, the interaction between Wally and Jennifer or Jessica, that was good. That was actually pretty good. And then when she was telling the story about how she became possessed and everything like that, that was also pretty good too. I also found it funny when she's trying to kill him, and all these things. He's like, being clueless about it. It was actually pretty funny, and especially when he tried to catch her in the shower. When he caught her in the shower, that was actually pretty funny. The use of the blood when she had bloody hands, that was also good too. Blood done right, and the makeup when she was as her possessed, that was actually pretty good. The makeup on her, that was actually pretty decent for a film like this. And yeah, this and the cheesy references that I got to, too many to discuss here. So, but yeah, it was pretty decent.
All right. Ron, what did you like about this movie?
I found it quite amusing that, considering this movie was only 45 minutes long, there were exactly 2 montages in the movie, which take up approximately about 6 minutes of running time. So when you factor out the beginning credits and the end credits, and then the time spent on the montages, this whole movie probably clocks in at just over 30 minutes altogether for everything that happened. So it's not a rough watch by any stretch of the imagination compared to some of the movies that we have watched on here. I liked that they did try to tie it into the Amityville series by, it looked like the Amityville house that somebody had drawn in paint and then put on a green screen background. Yeah, that right there. And he said, but it's not that house we're going to. It's the one across the street or next door or something. And then you find out later, like the second most haunted house in Amityville, where all this stuff happens. And I thought that was an amusing way to tie it in, but still to set up the story. But then you have free reign to do whatever you want because you're not tied in to the Amityville series itself. So I thought that was rather clever, especially after the conversations that we had previously about how to tie in some of the movies that we've done that weren't necessarily Amityville based. I thought that was pretty clever. I did actually like the character of Wally because he is lovably clueless. He just doesn't know he's supposed to be scared. And, he starts hitting on the ghost, not knowing that she's trying to kill him, Yeah. It's just, I find it amusing, that they would put that kind of juxtaposition in there. I thought about 20 minutes into it, they had introduced only like 6 characters, and I thought that the guy that played Wally was 3 of them. It turns out when I watched the credits, it turns out they were all different people. I was just thinking it was the same guy wearing different disguises, which would have been absolutely hilarious if the same guy had done all of the different characters, because I'm fairly certain this was all shot in the same house and they just used different rooms for the different scenes. And it was probably his house, because I have a feeling it was the same couch in every scene, even though it's supposed to be different locations. So, to be honest, I would have liked to have seen more of the cat. The cat was fun. But I thought that it was written well, the way that they foreshadow some of the things that's supposed to happen. They're basically flat out telling you what is supposed to happen or what's going to happen, but they do it in such a comedic way that I thought it was really good writing, and it held together well. So I think there's a lot to it that if I went back and watched it a second time, I'd probably pick up on even more.
Okay. Quick question for everybody. Did anybody here make it to the end credit scene?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Because there's more kitty, and quite frankly, the fact that cat got cuddled like that and didn't like freak out, move, or do whatever shows what a professional that cat really is.
This is true.
That is one quality kitty you got there. Now, as far as what I liked about the movie, it's less than an hour long, as everybody has mentioned. However, I am going to disagree with Ron for a little bit here. I think it's the perfect length. Had they tried to do more with this, they may have actually soured the magic of what actually makes this movie work for me. But, that's, highly debatable. We'll never know, I guess. The hyper self-awareness, yeah, just from the first moment on, it was just, you could tell this was a movie that it's silly and they embraced it. And they ran with it so very well. The big FU twist at the end of the movie with Santa, I couldn't stand because I didn't have my prosthetic on at the time, but I stood up really, really straight and applauded. Great ending. Bravo. Yes. More of that, please. And I rather enjoyed the silliness of the characters. The standout side character, Rick, Wally's coworker, who had invented a family to spend the holidays with. He had just the right blend of pathos to really get to me there. Like, yes, I'm with my family, who I didn't totally make up, Twinkie. And just the way he just stares out, like the melancholy is set back. And then quick cut to the scene. I'm wondering if he's in the other movies with the Wally character. I don't know. I'm going to have to watch him. I apologize. I might be
You'll have to tell us
when I see you next. Yeah, let's find out. But with that thought in mind, we have the next question, our favorite question of all. What didn't we like about the movie? Yeah.
Well, and honestly, this is I'm a big boo bah humbug person at Christmas. So, but in this, they showed some pretty Christmas stuff. You know, like the one scene at the mall where they had the huge lights and the fairy and the really pretty twinkly trees was great. I actually got a kick, and I should have said this before, but I had forgotten about it. When in one of the scenes when he's driving and they have it's kind like every movie filler, it was like they made it funny though doing it. His weavy drive going to Amityville from above, and he's just saying, "Oh Christmas tree, oh 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 Christmas tree, Christmas tree." It was just like, yep, that's how most people, you know, don't know any of the fucking lyrics to half the. I've been in plays.
How else does the song go?
Yeah,
exactly.
I was in a play once, and it was supposed to be, we were a bunch of drunks. It was kind of a takeoff of A Christmas Carol, and the drunks ran the scenery back and forth on the stage, but we also were supposed to be standing and trying to sing Christmas carols, and it was like, just give it a shot and make sure you fuck it up. You don't know the lyrics anyway. And so we were all like, okay. They just suggested a couple different ones for us to start out that everybody knows like the beginning to, and then you're like, what? Because nobody except for my Aunt Joni can possibly sing like the fifth verse of something, but she knows them all. Joni, I love you, but we need to talk, honey. Sometimes it's a little bit much. We need to have a Hallmark and a Christmas intervention, dear, because it just gets over the top sometimes. And yes, I know that you think I have a problem because I'm me, but it's okay. We'll get along. I was kind of disappointed in the owner. Like, I thought she could have tried harder to make everything like she wanted to kill everybody. Yeah, you know, she became addicted to it. But I thought she might have had a little bit more intervention. Like, I guess she was just waiting for the ghost to do her thing. But like slipping some poison in the cookies, because they couldn't hurt the ghost, but they could have hurt him. Like little things like that would have been fun little additions to it. But yeah, I don't have too much bad to say about this movie, really. I quite enjoyed it. So yeah. How did they fucking pack the penguin? That's all I want to know.
Christmas magic.
Yeah.
Our dear watchers, if you can enlighten us to how they got that penguin into the suitcase, please email Deb.
Yes. And one other thing. When he was packing the suitcase, he's like putting in nunchucks. He pulls up a box of something that was like blue and green and like holds it up. And I tried pausing on it and looking, and I could not figure out what was that he packed. Does anyone know? Did anyone else get annoyed with not being able to see what it was and try and go, what was that? What was it?
You didn't get a screenshot of it?
And I tried, but it was all blurry. I could not get the perfect in sync screenshot to work. And on Tubi, you can't do screenshots, so I was using this other thing to pick or something like that to get the pictures that I did get, and I couldn't see it. I mean, like, it almost looked like Band-Aid box or something. It was like the same size, and so I thought like maybe he would use a Band-Aid, but there didn't happen, so it wasn't that. So I don't know what it was.
My brain immediately goes to condoms, but Wally doesn't seem like that kind of character.
No, I don't think. Yeah, he doesn't have that self-confidence. And he thinks he's going by himself. So unless Wally's a very kind of special. You know.
Let's go back and watch it.
So fans, if you see that, let me know. If you happen to know, I would be interested.
Yes.
I will send you something.
Of the box. Yes. So, Friday, what didn't you like about the movie?
It was a Christmas movie that we watched before Halloween. Other than that, I don't have anything I generally hate. Other than
she may have a point.
The one lady could have been definitely more of a bitch, but yeah.
Okay. Chaos, what didn't you like about the movie?
The
The owl.
Sorry. The only thing I could really say I didn't like about the movie is, as everybody said so far, Christmas in October, and that one lady looked like she may have done a better job in that Amityville Karen.
Good point. Yeah, we need to.
She had the look about it.
Do you hate Amityville, Karen? Yes, you do. Okay.
You're right there, Del.
Oh, sorry.
Not at all.
She's having a moment with Ratatosker.
Your mic was on. So,
Sorry. Helping the
All right.
drunk.
Yeah, well, Time Dog,
have
what
thumbs.
didn't you like about the movie?
I didn't like the there was one scene where Wally and Rick were talking, and it seemed like they were in the same room. They could have easily had like either or be somewhere else and be on their phone and just have it on speaker. I think that would have been good. And so yeah, that bothered me. Other than that, yeah, that was my only gripe about the movie.
Okay.
For a movie like this, I wasn't expecting any like more violent scenes. Actually, I'm wrong. I think the ghost hunter, the hunter, could have gotten like beat up or maybe killed, probably. And especially when he was using that Talk Boy recorder from Home Alone 2, which is another obscure reference of Easter eggs. And yeah, other than that, I just didn't, I don't really have anything to gripe about this movie. I really don't.
All right.
It's a type of cheesy that I do like, and I've seen a lot of cheesy films like this, and so yeah.
Okay. Well, that brings us to Ron. What did you not like about the movie, sir?
I don't know. I'm still thinking they probably could have expanded it a bit, like I said, without too much detriment to the overall enjoyment of the movie. Mostly because they could have put a little more backstory on the characters and maybe defined the relationships a little bit better. Particularly the ghost hunter guy, I think his name was Clay something. He just sort of randomly shows up, and he doesn't actually do much. He's kind of there because they need somebody to kidnap the ghosts, essentially. And so the resolution for that is taken care of pretty quickly in a comedic manner. And I think Wally actually tasers him. I don't see Wally as much of a fighter anyway, even though he's supposed to be some heroic cop. We don't exactly know the full story on what he did to become a heroic cop other than abusing his power. So what kind of fight could have actually gone down between Clay and Wally that could have been funny, but Wally having to use his wits to get out of the situation rather than just relying on the taser to take care of Clay and get the ghost out of there. They could have expanded that scene just slightly and put in some slapstick comedy and probably made the movie a full hour if they had done that. It's not necessary per se, because the movie's perfectly fine without it. But if they were looking for ways to expound upon it, then yeah, I think that's one way that they could have actually done it. But like everybody else, I don't really have a lot of gripes for this particular movie, because I thought that it was held together pretty well.
Well, I'm wondering, because this is, as I mentioned before, a continuation of a series of movies about Wally.
Yeah.
Wondering if this wasn't touched on previous movies, and maybe they could have used flashbacks from those movies to help the
It's entirely possible.
But Dell looks like she had something to say there.
Oh, when I watched the preview and you were talking about the scene where he tases the cop, they don't have the full sound effects going in that. And so when I saw the when he tases the cop, when Wally tases the hunter guy, in the preview it looked like he stabbed him, because he goes in with the taser, and so I thought he was getting stabbed, and then all of a sudden I heard bzzz, and I was like, oh, okay, we're keeping this PG. Got it. Because I thought he was going in for the stab there. When I was expecting that, and then I didn't see it, and I was like, oh, okay, so they're being nice.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas movie. Okay.
It's a nice little Christmas movie. But what I didn't like about this movie, despite the runtime, there were some points where I thought they seemed to add things to just pad things out, to stretch things out a bit longer than what may have happened, like dialogue and some scenes that just like Ron mentioned, there were basically two montages that they stuck in here, and it still filled out to technically 47 minutes and some odd seconds, but we're saying 45 because America. But it's
well, the
also
credits
a couple
ran
of the
longer
other
than 2 minutes.
Yeah, and there was a post-credit scene, which was touching, he said. But
we figured it out.
Yes,
It's Shingles. The movie.
Shingles.
That is what he put in the cake. I took
VHS.
a screenshot while Tom Dog and Ron, I had fast forwarded to when he was packing. I took a screenshot, then I blew it up, and then we went on IMDb and scrolled down and found other movies linked to it. It is Shingles.
Okay. Thank
you. To quote another character in this movie, that sounds like an inside joke. Moving on.
You have powers.
Wow.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, Tom Dog, you had another brain dropping there on this?
Yeah, I actually remembered another complaint. If Wally was the only one to see the ghost, how did discount Brian Posehn was able to grab her?
He's a professional.
Yeah.
He also grabbed a woman in a sheet. So
yeah.
I'm not saying he was good at his job, but he is a professional. So the other thing I didn't really like about this was a couple of the side characters kind of fell flat. The Ghost Hunter Creighton School, which
Creighton Clay, whatever.
Chicken wire.
Yeah.
Chicken wire to trap a ghost. They do kind of explain it a little bit, but still, chicken wire cage.
No, it was a dog kennel.
Dog kennel.
Peanut has that exact same one, only it's slightly smaller because she weighs 8 pounds. She's like the size of Ratatosker. But yeah, it was just a large dog kennel. And that had the flippy that my old dog, or the old dog, figured out. She could nose it up and get out, but Peanut's not quite that smart.
They said it was some kind of specialty containment cage.
Yeah.
Special metal.
They got for discount, I guess. But the Homer Samantha, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to disagree with those that actually like the character. I thought that she kind of almost hits the Amityville Karen levels of annoying. But she's not in the movie very often, so that's okay. So, well, gotta say, I'm kind of surprised with the outcome of what we thought of the movie here, but at the moment, we've come to the part where we have to pay some bills. So we're going to pause and run a few ads. When we come back, more wackiness ensues. So roll the thing.
Greetings and shabebans. We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Well, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Steve's trying to say is that on Retro Reductibus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh. And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorking Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Reductibus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
No, I don't care that he's allowed to hug his face. You can't hug mine. That's just not right. He's not, you're too big. No.
Welcome back. We're in the middle of a therapy session with Del and Madagascar. And Ron seems to be in a very intimate position with his own monkey.
Did you see what that looked like? That's what you would have looked like.
The sloth.
Monkey sloth.
Sloth.
Okay, so moving along here.
Right along.
Oh, well, this is going to haunt my nightmares. We got some books we need to plug here, don't we? Friday?
Okay. On the 25th, let me find it again. On the 25th, our newest anthology, Nightmare Whiskers, came out. I hope you guys go out and check it. We have read stories from it on my author interview last night. I read my story from Nightmare Whiskers. On our last Satellite Society, UncleNecRo read one of his stories and Raz read his. And you have got to check out Ron's because Gronk is amazing. Please go check it out. There's beautiful poetry, and my kid even has a picture in it. I am so proud of my 10-year-old. So please go check it out. And please check out the Allied Menagerie. Our friends and us made such a great anthology. There's so many awesome stories. There's the never-ending Groundhog Day at the mental institution. There's the angel and the broken heart story. There's the ghost story where you have to seal the dude away to make him stop. There's all sorts of things, including a video game story and an owl and a mouse having a fight while in the woods and something else is happening. You'll have to read to find out about the other part. And so much more. We have great authors like Curtis M. Lawson and okay, say the Steve name.
Steve Van Samson, everybody.
Yep.
And Rob Smales. Can't forget that man. Couple of great people.
Forget Rob. Because we all know what he has to say about scary stories if you watched our intro. Anyway.
Yep.
All the proceeds for the first year go straight to the Pro Literacy Foundation. Every adult has the right to literacy. Please help us help them by reading our stories. Or just make a donation. We will take either. But as always, keep reading. And if I can get that thing to go off, keep reading. And hopefully you'll read us too.
Going to do a quick plug here too, because Steve Van Samson has 2 new books out right now, and Rob Smales has another one out too. So hop on their Amazon pages, grab the books. I've read them already. Well, okay, the Steve Van Samson one, I got a special prelude to, but it's coming out and you can grab like a very special edition of it. It's called it's the something Mr. Sniff. I forgot the pugnacious. That's not the word. Something cool. It's Mr. Sniff. It's great. It's kind of a kid's book, but there's a naughty word or 2 in it, and it's brilliant. Rob's he's also in the anthology The Rack, including a Stephen King story. It's been on the top sellers in horror anthologies for quite a while. And Rob's new book is called Monkey Bones, and Monkey Bones, and it is great. You can grab all those on Amazon except for I'm gonna have to look this up. Sorry, it's driving me nuts because I don't want to give the wrong. The Unpleasant. I knew there was a peanut. The Unpleasant Mr. Sniff, published by Weird House with Steve Van Samson. So yeah, I just, since we were talking about them, go out and give those a read because they're fucking great people. I recommend them all. I have read them all the way through. Yay!
Awesome.
Sorry.
Okay, well.
I had to have my moment. Plugging
books.
books.
Exciting. Some ideas for your Christmas shopping, which apparently we're talking about Christmas now, even though Halloween is the greatest thing ever.
You can always, since Halloween is my birthday, which is another reason why it is the greatest thing ever. If you send me requests, I can give you the book list of things. I'm kidding myself. I buy everything as soon as it comes out on Kindle and then try to buy special editions as I can afford them. But if you want to buy me a special edition of something, I will certainly send you a link and you can buy yourself a copy as well. It would be a brilliant solution for Christmas, birthday, and all of that jazz.
Oh yeah. So we have come now to the part of the show where we give our ratings and whether or not we recommend the movie. So we're going to start with Del. What would you rate this movie and would you recommend it?
This movie is getting an 8 out of 10. And yes, with the exception of like my mom, I would recommend this movie because she just doesn't really get into the corny stuff. She's not a big B horror fan. But yeah, I am all about this movie. And I think I will suggest it to like my nephew and some other family members and a couple of friends as well. I think it was great.
Awesome. Okay.
Especially because it's so short. So if they invest in it, they're like, You know, I'm not taking up like 3 hours of your time. I'm just, 45 minutes. Come on, you can watch it.
Yeah, it's roughly the same time frame as like an hour-long broadcast episode of a TV show.
Yeah.
Sans the commercials.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Friday, what would you recommend this? And I mean, what would you rate this? And would you recommend? What would you recommend it? And would you rate this?
Maybe.
I also give it an A, and I would recommend it to people who like goofy horror Christmas movies. It seems weird to say the words all in the same sentence. And yeah, I definitely will share it.
Okay, cool. Chaos, what would you rate this and would you recommend it?
I would rate it about a 7.5, and there's only one time a year I will ever recommend this movie. And that is about a month and a half away.
So 4th of July. Gotcha. Tom Dog, what would you rate this movie and would you recommend it?
Yes. I'm going to be fair and I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. A 7 had the cat had like an inner dialogue. I think that would have been a lot fun. I think that would have been a lot funny. I really do think that.
Morse the cats in those old commercials.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
So, and would I recommend this? I have to agree with Chaos. I will only recommend this to people who that are into cheesy holiday movies and watch it around that time.
All right. Ron, what would you rate this and would you recommend it?
I think I'm gonna agree with Tom Dog on this one, and I will most likely give it a 6 as well. But I think that it seriously has potential to rate a 7 or 8 if they had added more slapstick comedy into it, or possibly made the cat more of a main character. I would have liked to see more scenes with the cat because I'm a cat guy anyway. But that's beside the point. I don't know. I want to say somewhat tongue in cheek that I probably would have given it an 8 if it had more, gore, sex, and violence. But that probably would, in all honesty, really ruined the movie if there had been more gore, sex, and violence. But who knows? I guess we'll never know because they probably won't make that movie. But just based on some of the movies that we've watched here in the past, the movies with gore, sex, and violence tend to rate a little bit higher. I don't know why that is, but horror. Okay. Anyway, and this is not what that movie was about. So yeah, I think Tom Dog's rating is pretty fair on this for a 6. Would I recommend it? I would say yes, but only to people that like that kind of comedy. If you like Weird Al Yankovic style of comedy, then yeah, I think you'd probably enjoy this movie as well. I don't think my mom would really care much for this movie. She'd probably sit down and watch it and then get bored about 10 minutes into it and then have to go to the kitchen and make some cookies or something and never finish watching the movie because that's what she does. But hey, I get cookies out of it, so who am I to complain? It's not really her kind of comedy. So yeah, I don't think that it's for everybody if you don't really understand that kind of comedy. But if you like Weird Al and cheesy, spoofy type stuff, then yeah, I would definitely recommend it. So I think it's worth it. It's worth a small watch.
As far as I go, I would give it a 7, but I wouldn't recommend it. Instead, I would just slip it into the playlist of all the people that I know who watch nothing but those Hallmark and Lifetime Channel movies every year. Slip that into the queue on their playlist, and then sit back and watch the fun. Because I'm evil. So, normally at this point, I would be mentioning the 5-star reviews, but I couldn't find it. There's none none of the 5-star reviews on Amazon, so we're going to turn to Dell and see if she has anything from our very special sometime guest star, Sam.
Yes, Sam Panico has given it on. We go to IMDb for his, and he has only given it a 5 out of 10. And this is one of his shorter ratings. So, spoiler: Steve Rudzinski, and it just says Amityville. He doesn't have a title like Suicidal Ideations or anything like that in this one. Steve Rudzinski directed Karis Hell and Karis Hell 2. So I'm giving him a pass on this one because we all have an Amityville movie in us somewhere. And hey, at least he made one that defies the mold. Along with co-writer Bill Murphy, he's telling the story of Wally Griswold, played by Rudzinski, the same character he plays in the Meowie the Cat series of movies. Wally has won a trip over the holidays to Amityville and to stay overnight at a Christmas-themed bed and breakfast, which is, you guessed it, the former home of the Lutz and DeFeo families. He falls in love with someone else in the house who ends up being a ghost, a fact that he is absolutely clueless about, and we have a combination of Amityville and Hallmark Christmas romantic comedy all at the same time. Ben Dietzel's from Neon Brainiacs is in it, and it's only 50 minutes long. These are both good reasons to watch this movie. I'm fully aware of how silly it all is without being so in on the joke that it gets lame. It's also relatively family safe with none of the usual insanity of these movies. I'm just happy that it's a real movie, that it's fun, and that I got to watch it. And yeah, that was his review. And that's BNS About Movies is his link, and it's in our show notes. I did want to read this other one just because the end of it cracked me up. And they gave it a 6 out of 10. Fun and charming. I just finished Amityville Christmas Vacation. It was fun. Very original. The silly story carried the film and really demonstrates that it doesn't take a huge amount of money to make an entertaining movie. Nice work and Merry Christmas. This story is corny. The characters are silly. The dialogue is funny. I hope that Steve Rudzinski continues making movies like this. I'm sure a bigger budget would have helped, but a bigger budget may have taken away from the charm this film has. It's Christmas Eve, 2022. It's 7 degrees outside, so it was a perfect time to watch this movie. Because my review has to be at least 600 characters, I had to add the last couple of sentences. So that was that review. Yeah. I was impressed when you were doing the trivia at the beginning. I had read that before too, and I was like, so they actually have reached the point where at Fangoria there is an Amityville category. There are so many Amityville offshoots that there is just an Amityville category that you can win.
Yeah. Congratulations, everyone. They just kind of spoke it into existence by making so many Amityville movies. They had to make its own award.
It's like Florida Man.
Thing. Right. Oh my gosh. So, I guess now we can spin the wheel and see what we're being tortured with next week.
Yes, and since we weren't sure how long the season is going to work, we added a couple extras on that I've been assured are fucking horrible. So.
Oh, goody.
Not another Christmas movie.
No, there aren't any more Christmas ones. Ooh, another 2023 Amityville Emmanuel. Ta-da!
What? Amityville Emmanuel. Are we sure that's not another Christmas movie? Okay.
I don't know.
Does anybody know what?
I don't know what Emmanuel is. No.
Emmanuel is one of the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus, which is
I know that
used during Christmas. So,
looking it up real quick here. A woman discovers the haunting truth behind her murderous secrets. It is streaming on Tubi and Prime.
That tells me nothing.
Despite the title, there is no character named Emmanuel in the film.
Okay, it's one of those. Oh man!
There's something with DeFeo's involved in it, and a Lutz or two. So I think it's supposed to be a horror one.
Supposed to be? Yeah, okay.
We don't know.
Well, it's on Tubi. Well, we'll find out, and we'll definitely tell you next week when we come back. So, oh man, this has been a long season so far. Del, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Carrie, Kari Sanders. If you see this crow looking at you, I am judging you, and you have found me. From there, you can go off and see my author page, all the stuff I do here on Owlite. I do most Sunday shows pretty much every Monday that I'm on. And I also do splash pages on Tuesdays, which is a comic book show. Tomorrow, we're bringing on Dean Haspiel, who I'm going to be cosplaying as one of my favorite characters that he has written, the Coney, next year. When I go to Terrificon, I have somebody helping me get the costume all together. And yeah, it's going to be a really fun show. And that's how you find me. That's all my stuff. Find me, read me, watch me, do the things. If you want to say hi, I'll say hi back. Maybe. If you aren't weird. The wrong weird.
All right. Okay, Friday, where can we find you?
Me? Hold on.
You?
Good. I'm not muted. I thought I'd muted myself because I was looking for the thing. I'm at Friday with the Library in the Blue Box. I'm at the author page, Jennifer Elliott. And as usual, you can find me skulking around Faycore or Owlite Network randomly in the background doing random things.
Okay. Chaos, where can we find you?
I'm the puppet master.
That just conjures up more images of her hand up your butt. That is not what I want.
Why do you think I'm showing both my hands? So you can see he controls himself.
That doesn't work either. So, yeah, nothing says loving like a fistful of Crisco. Tom Dog, where can we find you?
Yeah, you go on for that.
You can find me laughing my ass off after that. Rolling on the floor laughing. Anywho, you can find me on the Brill Pro Network over on YouTube at Tom Arcade 69. Don't forget the @ gimmick that's on there. Apparently I learned the hard way. Anywho, this week we're wrapping up Ghostbusters month on Channel X with the top 5 of my favorite real Ghostbusters episodes. And on Thursday, Dell's birthday, early birthday shout out to you. And I'm going to be finishing it off with my Tom Dog live streams. Tom Dog Plays live stream Halloween event that I do every year around on Halloween. And I'm going to be doing Ghostbusters the video game, and we're going to and that will close off Ghostbusters month. And of course, Wrestling Prime, which has been having a lot of fun there with that as well. And there's only one way to do that, and that is face hug that subscribe button.
Oh yes.
Yes. Okay. You can do that.
Ron, where can we find you?
You can find me probably in a bar drinking heavily to try and erase my memory of all of these really bad Amityville movies that we've watched this season. 3, yeah, right. I'll be sitting in the recliner of judgment there. You can find me on Facebook, my author page, Ronald W Gillespie Jr. -author. And make sure you check out my story in Nightmare Whiskers and Owlite Menagerie. I'm pretty proud of both of those stories. You can also find me on TikTok under @Wolf Dojo. I'm a martial artist by trade, and I try to make martial arts related content. So if that's the kind of thing that you're into, then check it out, and maybe you'll like it and follow me and all that good stuff. Otherwise, just tune in here on some Sunday nights and Mondays for Tune with the Terrible, and you get to see this beautiful, gorgeous, sexy, bald head and beard and just regale and just the superb, magnanimous nature of my face and whatever. I don't know.
His bald head is so sexy that we have actually gotten flagged for nudity when he has bent over before.
They thought it was a dress.
Look at that.
Yes.
And there goes our rating.
Oh, we're getting flagged again.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
Slower. Oh yeah. Oh.
Whatever. Okay, go ahead, James. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I'm not sorry, but
But it puts the lotion on its skin. Anyway, I am your humble servant, UncleNecRo. And you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, and Twitter, currently known as X. A few blogs, and apparently I have a fan site on Facebook now. It just kind of appeared. I have no idea how that got there, but if you want to be a case file, just go ahead and find it and do stuff, I guess.
That's an awesome name. Oh my God. It's perfect. Yeah,
Didn't you see it yet?
No, but case file. Bibliophile, case file.
It's what we call a pun.
It's gorgeous. It's a portmanteau.
I didn't even make
beautiful.
that pun.
It's I love it.
He took one for once.
Okay.
I mean, like,
That
I'm a
could
Van
actually make a good
Samsonite,
plot for a show.
and
I'm so confused now. Are you serious? Because I thought it was kind of cheesy.
No, that's
like,
actually
okay,
really clever. I like it a lot.
bibliophile. I am all about the thing,
Right.
file, and case.
Right.
So yeah, no, that is like
Right.
brilliant.
If you
Okay,
didn't
I'm
use
glad I
that,
didn't go with
it would be a
necrophile then.
true crime.
I don't
That was
get
two
it.
for the night. Case files, true crime, closed
was
case,
the lag.
cold case.
It was the lag in between.
You know,
Okay. Cold
the-
case.
yeah.
I wish I was a cold right now, but anyway.
I'm just like,
so,
it's like
well,
Dell's
Dell
just like,
approves.
what the fuck?
That just blew her mind, I guess.
Did-
All right. Well, until next time, stay and neuter your friends and seek help.
Not everybody.
We all need help.
Yes, we do.
No.